The global COVID-19 death toll reached the 5 million milestone on Monday, with the United States remaining the worst-hit country, according to the latest data released by the Johns Hopkins University of the United States. Previously, the global COVID-19 deaths topped 1 million on September 28, 2020, hit 2 million on January 15, 2021, exceeded 3 million on April 17, and crossed 4 million on July 7. 4 variants of the virus, namely Alpha, Beta, Gamma and Delta, pose the greatest public health threat so far to the world, according to the World Health Organization, WHO. More than 100 countries have found the variants of COVID-19, and the proportion of the Delta variant has exceeded 50% in over 90 countries. The United States remains the worst-hit country with about 46 million cases and about 746,000 deaths, accounting for more than 18% of the global caseload and nearly 15% of the global death toll. The heart-wrenching loss of lives is a reminder that Washington's painful lessons in its response to COVID-19 should be reviewed and learned from, so that humankind can save more lives and prevail over the virus at an early date. Despite the fact that some U.S. media have glorified the country's image in its fight against COVID-19, facts have shown that the United States is the world's #1 anti-pandemic failure, the country that is witnessing the most political finger-pointing, and the country where the most disinformation prevails. The truth about the U.S. response is that some unscrupulous politicians in Washington care more about partisan interests than ordinary American lives. In early 2020, then U.S. President Donald Trump's administration ignored warnings of the virus and downplayed the risks of the pandemic in a bid to buttress economic growth and stabilize the Republican base in elections. Hindered by partisan conflicts, the pandemic prevention and control system malfunctioned, and the country missed the window of opportunity to implement effective measures at multiple development stages of the pandemic. The U.S. notorious money politics has also been at play during the pandemic, resulting in the importance of capital outweighing that of human lives in the eyes of the government. The U.S. attempt to politicize COVID-19 origin tracing has made things even worse and also undermined global efforts to defeat the deadly virus. In addition, its failure in introducing effective exit controls has helped the virus to spread wider, posing great threat to people's life around the world. In May last year, a study by the Tel Aviv University showed that about 70% of the confirmed cases in Israel were infected with strains of the virus originating in the U.S. New Zealand media reported that from February last year to January this year, the number of imported cases from the U.S. was the second highest in the country. The world is now facing a huge shortfall in COVID-19 vaccines, with only 6% of the population in Africa being vaccinated, said the WHO. But the U.S. has stockpiled large quantities of COVID-19 vaccines. The U.S. would rather see the vaccines be wasted after the overdue date than donate them to other countries in urgent need. Data from the U.S. Center for Disease Control show that at least 15 million doses of vaccines have been thrown away in the U.S. since March this year.